Let's bring us to agenda item number 2, the potential increase in the amount of individual and or business bonds for licensure.
Yeah, I'd like to be heard on that. With the economy the way it is right now, which I think is pretty bad in the New Orleans area right now, everything's going up, taxes, etc. I would be against the increase on the bonds because we do have a surplus in our accounts right now. And unless good cause can be shown that we need to increase the bonds based on the amount of forfeitures we've been having, I would vote against that. We don't have that many forfeitures that are going to be over the amount of the bond.
That's kind of my sentiments on it. We don't really cash, that's incorrect. We don't really file bonds that often enough to really increase it. So that's, if I can make a suggestion, that would be it, is not to increase it at this point.
May I be heard on something,
Yes.
just so we're aware? We do have cases where claims are made which exceed the $10,000. Right now, residential Louisiana auctioneers can have one bond for both their business and their individual. And that does cause, in some of the high-end auctions, questions with regard to whether we'll be able to make anyone affected by these particular claims or misdeeds by an auctioneer in a high-end auction. Difficult to collect them. We're not requiring right now E&O insurance for auctions either. That may cure the problem, but I would ask the board to keep that in mind and potentially look into whether there are sufficient high-end auctions that Louisiana to make it worthwhile to perhaps do this on a prorated basis. The more expensive or more successful your auction, perhaps you should have more than just $10,000 out there to cover what's going on. Because this actually does, in some sense, protect the auctioneer. It's like insurance in that.
I'd like to put up a motion at this time that be deferred until such time as the proper foundation is shown that we actually need to increase it, which is going to affect the cost for every auctioneer in the state of Louisiana. I just don't think we have enough information on it right now, and I don't think we've had enough bond forfeitures that have gone over the amount of the initial bond. Well, but you haven't had that many. You haven't had that many.
I'm not picking on any auctioneer in the state. I'm going to use one example. Louisiana County is sitting there doing several $1 million of pop auctions. Do you have a problem with making a business put up a $50,000 bond to be paid? I've had auctioneers ask me, there's no wrong with individual auctioneer, but if you got an auction business that's active and is doing business like Dan was talking about, maybe on a pro rata basis or whatever, I think there needs to be a bond put on that business besides all. The auctioneer shouldn't carry that whole load.
There are only 2 or 3 auction houses in the city that do that volume of business, and you've named one of them. The rest of them are individual mom and pop auctioneers, and they incorporate their business, but they do auctions on a part-time basis, just as I do. And I think with the economy the way it is, overhead, etc., it's going to be a hardship on them to increase the amount of money. So I would vote that it be deferred, Mr. Chairman, as you have suggested, until such time as we have more information, and give other people a chance to speak and be heard on that issue.
Any further discussion on it? We've got two motions.
You would have to give one and then, unless.
Yeah, we only have one motion.
No, we have one.
No, I need a second on her motion.
The motion is to defer until proper foundation is shown that it must be increased due to bond claims that are happening.
You gotta get a second.
Another motion.
I'll second it.
Second to defer.
I'd just like to say this, Mr. Chairman. you need me to come here, just very quickly, because we've had negative feedback from auctioneers about trying to increase the bond as well, to be and things like that. And I agree with Ms. Jacobs that the state of the economy is pretty much putting a lot of people in a very awkward situation. The last thing I would say is, most of the auctioneers, as she stated again, reiterating, are not in it on a full-time basis, and they're mom and pops. They're not, you know, Ms. Seth did make a valid point with New Orleans Auction Gallery, but on the other side, you know, there were some things that were done that they didn't vote on. So at the same time, you know, that's just an isolated incident, but that's not the norm throughout the auction industry. And I think we need to be more compassionate for the norm instead of the exception to the norm.
I guess my only commentary is going to be hearing the name of New Orleans Auction Gallery invoked. When that situation came up, there was a concerted effort by this board, the existing board, not to do anything. Ms. Edmonds said, quote, we only had 6 people contact us and not even all of those filed complaints. One of those complaints involved fake paintings that were auctioned for over $100,000. And they had Christie's rejection stickers on the back of them at the time New Orleans Auction Galleries took them in. And they went on and auctioned them anyway. A Mossad Puritan out in Los Angeles, California was victimized for over $100,000. And it doesn't really matter if you raise the bond limit to $1 million. If you're going to push stuff like that under the carpet, it's not going to matter. So New Orleans Auction Gallery had kind of faded from my memory. Thank you for refreshing it, Mr. Sims. I would commend the board if you, obviously I would assume you got feedback because the momentum on this seemed favorable last meeting. But I will again emphasize, it doesn't matter what the size of the bond is, it's a function of how this board handles matters like that. And I'm just going to say this board failed miserably with regard to New Orleans Auction Gallery. Failed miserably.
May I answer that? I mean, the issue before the board is whether or not we raise the bonds for everybody in the state, not just New Orleans Auction Exchange. New Orleans Auction Exchange is a very solvent company. They do business, and if they make a mistake in not certifying a painting, they can be sued, and they can respond in damages to it.
And ownership has changed of that business.
That's right. But the average mom and pop auctioneer that maybe only holds 1 or 2 auctions a year and they're licensed with the board can't afford all of these extra fees. Not everyone is a successful auctioneer, like some of the members, Mr. Chairman, and some of the other members of this board, Mr. Anderson, who do this totally as a living. I don't. I have another profession. And that's why I'm against it. A lot of people just can't afford it. And you see that by some of the fines that we've levied here, where people, rather than paying the fines, are not paying the fines, and they're just letting their license lapse, because they probably can't afford it. And I think that has to be taken certainly into consideration. I would need, before I could vote in favor of increasing it, I would need more information. I'd need the Louisiana Auctioneers Association certainly to weigh in on this, and they haven't yet, to poll their members, of which I'm a member of that organization, because I think you're going to find a lot of no's that are going to support the position on raising it. Just because the economy's bad and they can't afford it.
Can I briefly follow? No? All right, I'll follow after the fact.
It's still open for discussion. We have roll call.
I've talked to some auctioneers. Some of them belong to LALB. The vast majority I've talked to, bigger, more successful auctioneers, they want something. Even the ones that I talk to that are, I talk to several officers that are almost in hard time. I know they don't want to auction houses, they do auction location. They don't have a problem with it, which that's deep back out right now. As far as the economy's not real bad in North Louisiana, but it's not real good because it's almost not like New Orleans. You want to be honest, Darlene, New Orleans economy ain't come back since Hurricane Katrina.
Exactly, it's very bad
It won't
down
be
there.
back for another 20 years.
Well,
But I gotta say this, I can't sympathize with that. And it's no reflection on you, it's no reflection on all the years you are. It's just that somewhere down the line, you gotta draw the line. We got one guy here had paid his fine, all tails across Arkansas line, and he couldn't even do it. The other guy only got the fine. I don't even remember the case, so what it was fine. But if you forward fine somebody, it needs to be collected. It's gonna wind up like we done, we gave him another chance. And now I had to file his bonds, collect his fines. So I mean, this, you know, I've been on this board since 2011. And practically every time I've come down here, for 3 years, every month, there's a doggone hearing of some form of some type. And some of that stuff, you know, I had my doubts on some of it, but under my experience as an auctioneer, really what the person done, it was a communication problem between them and the client. Now, I don't know what we're gonna do, but I'm headed. Sandy talked to me about it last week. She talked to T.S. Holt. Well, I understand T.S. Holt might write a lot of laws. But I know other states are looking, right now, I know 2 states are looking for $100,000 loan. I talked to 2 board members in that state that I know personally. Because I knew they were fixing to do it, and I asked them, they're gonna do it in the next 6 months. But they don't have to go to the legislature. I'm sure we'll have a fight in the legislature if we go, and it's a fight that this board shouldn't be prosecuted about trying to do what's right. I don't have a problem with deferring, but I'm gonna tell you now, I'm gonna have to vote against it. And I mean, it's all because I'm just voicing an opinion of what my people.
You would vote for it to increase the bond.
I'd vote for it, yes. I'm not saying I'd vote for a $50,000 bond, I would not do that. But I would vote probably step increases and changing from $10,000 to $20,000, and 2 years later raise it to $30,000, and let it get right there for a while, see what it does. But I am not gonna vote, no hardship on anybody for a $50,000 bond, and I know a lot of them can't do it. I'm not gonna do that. But, there again, you know, a lot of these problems that we've had have come out of my district. They have. And some of them came out of Jacob's district, or then out of my brother's district. I mean, we got to do something to tighten this up. I mean, you're gonna go do a bankruptcy auction now, and this board needs to put this out to all auctioneers. There's a lot of auctioneers running right now trying to get government auctions. Jake, it don't matter if it's a bankruptcy court, the IRS, or any other government agency. If that sale is valued at whatever it's appraised at, you gotta put a bond up to that amount of money. They know what $10,000 bonds is good. So, you know, that's the way my people feel, and I feel like I have to say that. Thank you, sir.
You know, let me preface this by saying I'm not bragging. However, with my business that we have at Hammond, I mean, honestly, we could raise it to $1 million and we would be okay. However, I've talked to auctioneers in my region. I've talked to auctioneers that work for me, and at this point in time, that's why I made the suggestion that I realize we disagree on this, Mr. Sims, but I don't
agree with this.
Yeah, that's fine.
No problem. You don't have a problem.
You know, right now it just doesn't feel like the average auctioneer at this point in time, and especially when I asked Sandy about how many times we filed on a bond. You know, just do I think something could happen down the road? Yes. Do I actually do like your stair-step proposal there myself, but I have to kind of sympathize with the average auctioneer, so to speak, for that reason.
It needs that, you know, it seems good mention to me that maybe we could take some of this surplus money we got and make a recovery fund. Well, I mean, I don't think every auctioneer in the state ought to be paying into that recovery fund for one auctioneer, man. Either. But, you know, there's a lot of ways to look at it. I mean, I was asked to bring it up and I brought it up. Whatever this board decides is the way I'm gonna abide by it, and I'm not gonna get a complaint out of it either. I mean, it's just the way it is. That's all. They think it's worthwhile, and I did what I was asked.
I'm gonna stand right here and say this, Mr. Sims, if what you are proposing was legitimately feasible on a case-by-case basis when auctioneers do have claims that exceed their bonds, excuse me, we can increase that auctioneer, require that auctioneer to increase his bond based on that claim, and that individual will have to pay that particular bond. But everybody should. If you do that, then you'll put in the auctioneer back in responsibility of their own action, if that was a case-by-case basis. But overall, I think what you said, Mr. Chairman, is the consensus of what I've heard, what we got from emails. Thank you, sir.
Maybe we should look at increasing the business bond on a pro rata basis and maybe the auctioneer bond, the way it is, that would affect the small.
We might need to look at the business bond, put it on the next agenda, try to go back.
That's why we just don't even defer it.
So we've got a motion from Darlene to defer the individual auction license until further proof.
Yeah.
Brought up further
Yeah,
case,
right.
and then you second. Any further discussion on that? All those in favor? Okay, do we need to go ahead and motion to put the business agenda, business bond on the agenda for next meeting?
I'll make a motion to do so.
I'll second that motion.
All those, are any further discussion?
Well, since there's a vote on that, can I just ask, as everybody knows in Louisiana, if you have an individual, if you have a business, for instance mine, your personal license, it automatically attaches to the business license, so you weren't required to get a business license. So for folks that are in that boat, specifically someone like I was, will they or will they not be required to conform to that requirement?
That's something I guess we have to discuss at the next meeting. Yeah, it's deferred until the next meeting, and, you know.
Yeah.
Then I would make the recommendation that the legal folk ascertain whether it would or would not apply. Because I'm not alone in that. I would imagine the vast majority. Why would you get a business license? Most people go ahead and let it attach to their personal license. It's one of the advantages to being in-state. So.
That's correct. And I would second Mr. Burns' request as well, because I do have both connected to one.
You have a corporation?
Yeah.
and
It's an LLC.
You have your
LLC.
name and then a corporation.
Correct.
That's what I am.
Yes, and so I think that would be advantageous to the purpose of why Louisiana auctioneers benefit by being in-state.
Almost like an individual.
Correct.
Can I make a suggestion? I put this in form of a motion if it's necessary. If I'm not mistaken, the Louisiana revised statute says that if you have an auctioneer license and you have an auction business, which is an LLC or a corporation in Louisiana, or a limited partnership, it's my understanding that the board is not enforced that you have to have a business license. Am I correct in that, Al?
That's correct.
So therefore.
If you're a resident. If you're a
If you're a
resident.
resident. Now, I'm gonna make a motion that an auctioneer in the state of Louisiana, if he has an LLC, sole proprietorship, corporation, or limited partnership, and involves an auction business, they're gonna have to have a business license on the firearm.
I couldn't hear the last statement.
You're going to require, you got to have a business license.
We'll have to be required to have a business license, which if you already a licensed resident auctioneer, the business license won't cost you any additional money. But you don't have to put up a bigger bond for that corporation, or that LLC, or limited liability, or whatever.
I'd like to move that be deferred to a future meeting. I'm not prepared to.
We're talking about putting it on the next agenda.
Right.
That's all.
We got a motion to put on the agenda for next.
I'll second that.
Second. favor?
Aye.
Further discussion, anybody opposed? Motion passes.